Boom! We're recording. All right, everybody. Welcome to Aesthetic Conversation. Howdy, everybody. I am your host, Jackson Daniel, and tonight we have with us my good friend Ryan Harden. Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey everyone, it's Ryan Harden. I live here in New York City, Manhattan to be exact. Um, I fitness model here with Wilhelmina. I train clients one on one. I teach HIIT classes, and I also coach people online through fitevolution.net. So that's a little brief little background. I studied dietetics for a little bit at University of Kentucky, where I worked at a hospital on the side for the mentally ill. Before that, I lived in Danville, Illinois, which is where I met Jackson.
Used to slang burgers together. That's how we got our start. Our
Right. Crazy, crazy. We used to work at McDonald's together, so
This
pretty
motherfucker
wild.
would just sit and eat chicken straight out of the thing, and I swear to God, you were the only person. You and Joe are the only people that didn't get in trouble for doing it because you
Yeah,
would.
man, we got away with a lot of bullshit, man. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a different time. We used to when we would close the store, we would actually I mean, I'm gonna say this anyway. We would steal like a hamburger patty and chicken out of the back freezer.
Yeah, dude. I used to steal the old day old burritos out of the thing. You know how they'd have those nasty ass like day old ones where if they here's a little fun fact about McDonald's for everybody that doesn't know about it. Get the breakfast burritos about a half hour into the breakfast because the ones that they don't sell, they have pre-made ones that they already roll up. Those ones that they don't sell, they put in the fucking cooler and then give them to you in the first like half hour increment of
Yeah,
selling you burritos. Yeah. Or maybe that was what I don't know.
I know, right? But it was like we were still in like whole boxes, like
Oh
like
shit.
like boxes of red meat. I would take my mom's van, we would pull it around the corner, and then we'd be like, yeah, we're gonna take out the garbage can.
Are
And
you serious? How do I not know about that?
we just never told anybody, man. It was being Joe. And then we'd use that meat, like protein, and like we were like
Really?
bulking up. It's like, yeah,
Was there macros even for that? Because I know you probably weren't like super strict before. Because yeah, you
man.
used to just put a piece of chicken in that
Yeah,
lime sauce, and just eat it.
just eat and train. I mean, it was just my knowledge of like things back then was just so piss poor. But I mean, we were big, so hey,
I was gonna say y'all were gods though. Like y'all were the gods of Danville at that time period though.
man.
Seriously.
And I always tell people like when they first start training, like I think back to like when I first started working out, it really benefited me to, for one, have a group of friends that we were all like kind of competitive. So like, I mean, man, we when we would work out, it would be like devastation. Like when
Yeah.
I could barely walk and like just like I mean, but we were young, our hormones were I mean, we were just eating all that food and it was just
Yeah.
like it was like a good base for me.
Yeah, it was like the peak of your guys' hormones just kicking in. When you have that good like teenage dick. You know what I'm saying? You get them
Right.
boners that you swear to God, you're just like, I gotta do something with this shit, or I can't even think. I can't even order like my shit off Amazon because I gotta beat it. Like fuck it, new tab, incognito.
It'd be like you're sitting in a classroom in math and just get like a hard dick.
Bro, I'm telling you, or gym class. I remember one time going into gym class, baked as hell, and I don't know which girl it was, but I remember seeing her. I wasn't wearing underwear, and I was wearing gym shorts. And the whole class, I had to have one hand in my pocket pushing that shit down because I was like, man, fuck, like, why is this happening? Like that was literally teenagehood.
Yeah,
That explains it. That was literally
those were the
teenagehood.
days, man. It's crazy how fast life moves, but hey,
Yeah, it's been a decade. It's been a decade since fucking high school, dude. It's wild.
peace.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell one McDonald's story because I think our viewers would love this. I got a couple of Ryan, but this one's beyond my favorite. And before we start actually getting into fitness stuff, all right, one time I was at work and I was having a shitty day. I walk into work and like, what's up, Austin? What's up, Trish? What's up, Ryan? And I remember you were just sitting on your phone like this. You look like you were in a bad mood. And I was just like, oh, he's not really talking. And I asked what Ladisha. I was like, what's the matter with Ryan? She's like, oh, I don't know. He's just not talking. And then I remember about 20 minutes passed, And Trish walks out of the room and she's like, I just got a phone call about a complaint against an order. And I was like, what is it? She said her McDouble wasn't cooked. And I was like, oh, what did it like I forgot to cook it all the way? She said, no, it was frozen. And I was like, what? And you just busted out laughing. You were like, I did that shit, bro. I did that shit. And I was like, why? And you were like, I don't fucking know. And you just laughed. And I was seriously like, that's the fucking funniest thing that has ever happened in this play. Yeah, and I was like, why you do it? You're like, I'm just fucking bored, bro. That's such a help. And she didn't even come back and get another one. She just accepted it. Like, that was it. I was like, only Ryan Harden could do that shit. And it, like, she just took the L, bro. She just took the loss. Like, I guess I got a frozen McDouble. All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna go.
I used to do so much stupid shit, man. And it's just like, it's so weird because now, like, when people talk to me, like, I don't know, like I'm in a different role now. Like, I'm more of like a leadership role. And people ask me for advice and stuff like that. I was just like, so, you're just immature. You're just having a good time. And I mean, I still show glimpses of that. I still have it in me, but it's just like, I just have it more, it's more suppressed, I guess you would say.
You know how to party. If the party's going on in your head, you still make weird noises and shit.
Yeah. I like to have a good time, you know. I mean, when I was a kid, my mom used to listen to like Buster Rhymes and Mysticals, and I always think it like fucked me up in the brain, just like a lot of just weird, crazy shit.
You just had Shake Your Ass playing 24 hours, 7 in your head.
Right, exactly.
You'd be at a funeral, and they'd be like, Ryan, I'm so sorry for your loss. And you'd be like, shake your ass. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'd like laugh or something.
All right, now let's go into a couple of questions because you're actually very knowledgeable about most topics. I've learned a number of things from you. And one argument I've been having recently with people because I try to steer them away from it, the trend. What is your personal opinion on ketogenic diets?
So my personal opinion on ketogenic diets, for the majority of people, I'm usually against them. The only time I would recommend someone consider a ketogenic diet is if they have a lot of really bad food cravings, especially like carbohydrates, and they're really not good at dealing with carbohydrates, as in they're insulin resistant majorly. Because with a ketogenic diet, you'd be removing all carbohydrates, kind of cut back on a lot of cravings, especially like from sugar. And that's just for like the general pop. As far as like people who are like really obese, it might be an option for them. I've had success with people doing a ketogenic diet, maybe for like a month, and then slowly reintroducing carbs. But there's not many people who can do a ketogenic diet for the rest of their life. And if
no,
they do,
I don't see longevity in it at all. Like,
right. Like usually if you're trying to get a result, one of the key things is adherence to a diet. So if you can't stick to a diet and you're not going to enjoy it, there's no reason to start it, because most people who go on diets end up gaining the weight back, or they go on another diet, or then it's another diet. And it's just like, so it's not something that I usually recommend. But, you know, I mean, there's some people who do it and they rave about it, almost like cult-like, oh, my mental focus is
it's religion at this point.
Great, you know, so, but it's not usually something that I recommend. But like I said, I've had people who've done it, and usually I transition them into carbs, because usually if you stay on a ketogenic diet for too long, you eat carbs, you blow up because your body's not used to processing the carbs. You have like a down regulation of like a lot of the enzymes that do with break down carbs. So
a crash and everything.
Right. I mean, what are you going to do when Thanksgiving comes? I mean, what are you going to do when this comes around, and you're still going to say, oh, I have my tub of fat and bacon here. So but that's my take on keto. But it does have some, it's helped people who have like epilepsy and things like that. So it has some benefits as far as like medical use and things like that. So
yeah,
you know, it's all in the context, but for the most people, I'd say no.
Yeah, I've tried to explain that to people too. Like what were you saying about how it essentially it gets rid of any sort of the type of like horrible foods. Like I explain it to people like this when it comes to like the ketogenic diet. It's not necessarily the keto diet that's making you lose weight. It's just it's getting rid of your ability to consume the foods that are making you obese in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So if you could just consciously remove like I eat honey buns every day. You know what I'm saying? Like you're consciously removing the shit that is making you fat. You have a burger and stuff like that. It's not making you fat. It's the goddamn bread that's around it. But I have I have my weird vegetarian conspiracy theories around it. I think ketogenic diet research is all being funded by, I swear to God, by the meat industry to compensate for the increase in vegetarian and veganism in America. I think that's my conspiracy. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, you definitely should look at like where studies are funded by, because if you really dive into that, you find out that a lot of studies are funded by people who have like agendas. And then another, like what you said with ketogenic diet, I mean, a lot of people aren't knowledgeable on like protein, fats, and carbs, and the
no.
amount of energy that different foods require. So if you just remove carbohydrates from your diet, you're automatically going to be in a deficit. So you're going to
Mm-hmm.
lose weight, and you're
Yeah.
automatically going to be storing water as much. So you're going to lose water weight initially because carbohydrates retain water. So it's like, if I told you never eat any fat, you're automatically going to be in a deficit because by default, it cuts out a lot of foods you can eat. Or even if I said don't eat
Right.
protein, you're automatically going to be in a deficit. So if you're moving a complete macro group, it automatically puts you at a deficit. And especially if it's carbohydrates, you're going to lose water weight initially. People don't understand that just because you lose weight doesn't mean that you're losing body fat. Could be body fat, could be muscle, could be water.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
just something to keep in mind.
No, I completely agree. I don't know. I when I try to steer people away from it, I usually try to hide the fact that I'm vegetarian because they think it's. I mean, because obviously they're, oh, it's just because you're eating animal. You know, I'm like, I just don't like see everything I've read about it. It doesn't seem longevity is what I try to explain to people. But I tell them, I'm like, oh, if you're trying to lose some weight in a month, yeah, I was like, absolutely, it'll fucking work. I was like, but the other thing you have to take into consideration, and I'll always ask people what they're eating because I'm like, are you including anything that's going to get you any sort of like nutritional value whatsoever? Like, are you like eating spinach or kale or anything like that? Or are you literally just going to McDonald's and getting the bun taken off and just eating it that style? Which, yes, you will lose weight, but you have to factor in the fact that you're not getting any sort of vitamins and minerals. You're just getting whatever the iron and everything like that comes in it.
Right. I agree with that. Definitely.
Okay. Now we're going to do a couple more bro questions, and then we're going to do some questions for your viewers to get to know Ryan Harden a little bit more. Now, second one, what is, and this is a cliche one, what is the number one thing that you would advice you would give to a person that like you when you reflect on you're like, God damn it, I wish I would have known this when I first started lifting. Let's say, or even someone's not even getting into lifting, they're just getting into the fitness world itself. What would you tell people to start off with?
If they're getting into the fitness world, we'll start off with I'd say consistency, really, because I mean, if I think about it, when I first started training, I mean, I wasted probably. I mean, I don't want to see. That's the thing. I didn't waste, but I wasn't doing things optimally. You just learn along the way, and that's just like the natural process of things. Because I mean, a lot of people they start and then they start. It's almost like you end up skipping over $100 bills because you're trying to pick up pennies. It's almost like someone's like, "What
That's
pre-workout should you take?" And it's
there.
like, okay, not even eating enough protein. Where it's like, I mean, it's just like you just get caught up into so many gimmicks, so many schemes, keto, vegan. I mean, it's just like, are you even working out if like 5 days of the week? Are you doing like? I mean, it's just like you just need to be consistent and keep moving forward. And I mean, you'll learn along the way. You'll find out what works, what's a joke, what's not a joke. But I mean, once you start, just don't stop. And then, I mean, the way time moves, before you know it, you're going to be somewhere that you probably didn't think you would be. So, my advice for someone starting, just don't stop. I mean, really, just, and you're going to learn along the way. You're going to make mistakes along the way. Everyone does. We all have. You're going to do shit that's not optimal, but you'll learn, you'll get better, and you'll keep getting better. So,
100% with that. Seriously.
probably my advice.
Is there any like small tip you give somebody like I've had a couple of people ask me for advice of just like small things they could do to lose weight gradually, and I've had 3 women at my work ask me advice, and I literally told them to just intermittent fast for 6 hours with black coffee and just go for like a 30-minute walk every day. And just by doing that, I've had women lose like 30 fucking pounds. Is there something like small that you could tell somebody to do that would probably help them lose weight? Like, oh hey, just eat, don't eat this in particular, or just like do do the macros for what your carbohydrates should be at a deficit and just try to stick to that, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm, I think fasting helps a lot of people because it takes out. I mean, it's just like another one of those things where by default you just reduce your caloric intake. And people
Yeah.
who don't understand numbers and don't really want to get into the science of things, it makes it easy for them. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Stupid
get
easy.
breakfast, don't eat until then. I mean, you could try to dive into the science of, helps your cell turnover and it may lower insulin, so you reduce more adipose tissue. I mean, just sometimes just like, just skip breakfast.
Yep.
And then you'll be in health. So I think that's a good one. I notice, especially with women, they don't eat enough protein. I mean, men too, but like really with women, like I don't know what it is. I think when they think protein, they think, oh, I'm gonna get bulky and swole as shit. It just doesn't really work like that. But I think that
That's a good
getting in
point. I
enough,
never thought about that.
yeah, getting enough protein in your diet and maybe trying to get it in every, say on average, 3.5 hours. Um, and getting in maybe if you're a woman, maybe 30 grams would be enough to stimulate protein synthesis for you on average, just throwing out random ballpark numbers. Because I don't think that like women understand is even if you're not trying to build muscle, you want to maintain the muscle that you have on your skeletal frame because it's going to support your metabolism. You support your metabolism, you're going to burn more calories when you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing, which you would want to do, especially if you're trying to lose weight. You want your metabolism to be the best it can be. Because if you're losing muscle, you're going to slow down your metabolism and you're just going to lower the amount of calories that you can eat. It's going to be harder for you to lose weight. So protein is just, it's a win, whatever you're trying to do. So usually I find, especially with women, they're not eating enough protein and it's almost like they're scared to eat protein. They think it's like, oh, it's just going to make me bulky. And,
Yeah. Well, it's the common misconception of like people just thinking how easy it is to actually gain muscle. You know what I mean? Like people think it's so easy. Like, and I've been training for so many years, and like I've had some people be like, "Yeah, if I drink a protein shake and did a couple push-ups, I'd look like that." I'm like, "Fuck you, man! All right, like this is actually shit, man. Like this is research. This is time."
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, man, and I think people, especially, I don't know what it is with women. They're just scared to the protein, and they just think that lifting weights is going to make them bulky. Now, I have worked with some like women who put on muscle a lot faster and more efficiently than others, but it's probably just a genetic component. But on average, it's just not going to happen like that.
Yeah. Speaking of cut ass people that you've trained, is it Sierra? She's fucking shredded, by the way.
Yeah, Sierra, I'm actually training her right now, and she's getting ready for a show. The last time we worked together, she got brought home a couple trophies. She went to nationals.
She's bigger than I am, dude. She's fucking like cut like
a
diamond. I've seen her for years, and I've always been like, God, like her delts are bigger than my God future.
Sierra's got good genes. I mean, even like her abdominal structure, her abs are aligned really perfectly. She's really built. She trains hard. She's about the lifestyle. She can get kind of hard headed sometimes with what some of the things I tell her to do, but she has a lot of potential. I mean, so Sierra, if you're watching this, don't fuck around.
I'll try to put her link or whatever in the Instagram video so people can see some of your clients.
Yeah.
Because Ryan, a big boy Ryan Harden ain't no fucking joke, man. I've known this motherfucker for a grip. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I haven't done a show in a long time. It's just kind of like, I think I just kind of did them initially. I used to want to be like a pro bodybuilder when I was younger. And after I did a couple shows, I just kind of used it to like show that I know how to get ready for shows and kind of help me pick up some clients and things like that. But yeah, for a long time, I used to want to be a pro bodybuilder, like when I first started working out. And I still take, but like I still maintain I'm usually in shape all the time. But
Right.
yeah, I just used to really want to be like a bodybuilder for the longest time. And I'm still into like I keep up with it. I keep up with classic physique, men's physique. I've done powerlifting meets. I've done men's physique shows. I've done the first show I ever did was like a bodybuilding show. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it's definitely an experience, and a select group of people really love it. Some people are confused by it. Some people think it's disgusting, but I mean, hey,
It's a sport. It's a goddamn
yeah,
sport. And I think there's a lot of benefits to, I don't know, from what I've paid attention to personally, I think that there's a lot of benefits to actually doing a contest, dude. There's nothing that's going to teach you fucking discipline and teach you like schedule and routine like doing a competition, because you simply cannot fuck around. Let's say you have like the day before a comp, you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm already this lean. You have a cheeseburger before the day of your show. You fucked up. It's like you're fucked.
yeah,
You're absolutely fucked. You know what I'm saying? That one slight mistake will absolutely fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And like when I used to do shows too, I was like, man, like looking back, I was like, I don't know if it's because I was younger as well, but I was just an asshole, man. Like I can remember people if I were around, like my friends, or even being in like relationships, and I'm like, because I'd have to do cardio, I couldn't eat this, and I would just be always tired, and I would just take it out on the people around me, and it's just like, yeah.
yeah.
But I'm more, another reason why I kind of just got away from like the bodybuilding thing is just like the bodybuilders these days, I don't like how they look, man. Like if you think about it, back in the day when like Arnold and guys were competing, like bodybuilding was on ESPN, man. It was like the golden era. And now like bodybuilders nowadays, so I mean Arnold and those guys, they use anabolic steroids, but now you have guys using like 3 times that amount,
It was
and
so
they're using,
less
and they're
degree
using
to
like,
say, yeah.
and they're using growth hormone, and they're using crazy diuretics, and I mean it just doesn't stop. It's just
No.
like
When
got
you get
guys 3
taking
times,
DMT, you're like, that's where
like
you should
that.
draw the fucking line.
It's just like, it almost became like it just became like a drug culture, and it's just kind of like it's just like when people think bodybuilding, they think drugs. It's just like it just didn't used to be like that. So
Absolutely.
every time someone in society says bodybuilding, they think oh, big bloated steroid fucking, and it's just like
Intestines have
man.
swollen because of GH and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So that's kind of another reason that kind of just turned me off from like the whole like bodybuilding type thing. But I love like the aesthetic physiques and shit like that. It just looks
I was
like
gonna say, if you had to pick a type of bodybuilding, what classic is that? What you would prefer? Like when you find aesthetically pleasing to look at, men's physique or classic, what would you prefer?
well nowadays these men's physique guys are getting pretty big, man. Like
They got legs too, man. People
oh
talk
yeah,
shit. They got fucking legs too, man.
some of them got legs too. Like the guy who just name's Logan Franklin. He just converted over to classic physique. But before, when he did regular physique, I mean, he would always show his quads, and they were like striated left to right, fucking decent size. And it was just like these dudes. I mean, they're evolving, man. Like they're not some little beach body boy, pussy boy type. I mean, they look good, and they still look tight waist, broad shoulder. I mean, they look good.
Yeah,
So
there's as
either
much intensity for sure.
yeah, I mean, so, but I mean, as far as like classic, I really like Chris Bumstead. I like how he can do the vacuum, and he looks really tight look. Um, like the George Peterson and Breon, they aren't really, they're all right, but yeah, I like Bumstead a lot.
Actually, I
Yeah,
don't think I know who Bumstead is. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think my friend Blitz in the last interview was actually talking about him, but I don't think I know who Chris
yeah,
is.
you should check him out. I mean, he got second last year. He got second the year before. But the guy who gets second to his name's Breon, and they just have kind of like different structures. But Bumstead, you'd probably like his physique a lot.
Okay, I'll give him a check.
Yeah, so have to check him out.
I try to keep up with a lot of that stuff too. I try to keep up with it, not as much as I used to anymore. When I first started lifting, I was like so fascinated in the culture, like, you know, and I still watch any Generation Iron that comes out, you know, any documentary that involves the whole entire sport, and I still keep up with, you know, Generation Iron news and everything like that. But I don't know nearly enough people. The last one I actually paid attention to is when Wendy won last. You know what I mean? And he didn't. Who did he lose to? I forget. Dude looked
Brandon
fantastic.
Henderson or something, maybe. I don't know.
I know the guy's like I'm trying to remember who it is. I know the guy who I'm pretty sure won Mr. Olympia though is like in trouble with something and he might not be able to compete again.
Sean Roden, the Mr. Olympia. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on in bodybuilding right now. So Jeremy Buendia's gotten, I mean, really down because all these girls are coming out saying like he abused them, like,
I didn't hear about that.
and so like he's lost a lot of endorsements. Sean Roden, the guy who just won the Mr. Olympia,
He's
is not
great.
competing this year because supposedly he was helping some girl with her posing or something. She went to his hotel room. Some of his DNA was found on her, his saliva DNA, not his sperm. But she was saying that he tried to rape her, and so now they don't really know. They're trying to figure out what happened, what didn't happen. So there's a lot of shit going on.
That'll destroy his career. It's probably over, literally, just because of this one. Once there's that stigma around, no matter what, whether or not it's proven or not, it just now people he's not the guy that raped that person. No, and the motherfucker's just like, I was acquitted, and they're like, oh, that's not what I heard. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it hasn't been proven yet, and they already said that he can't compete. So it's like
that fucking sucks. Fucking sucks.
So hey, I don't know what to say.
Shit's wild. All right. What split do you do, by the way? What kind of split
do I do right now? So I usually change up my split all the time. I actually, this past week, I just went back to like a bro split. Like I have a chest day, a leg day. But I got away from that split. The split I was doing before that, I would do an upper body day, I would do a lower body day. Then I would do a chest, shoulder, tricep day. And I would do a back, bicep, rear delt day.
Oh,
then I would do a leg day with some biceps in it. And then the next, I may do like some circuit training, and then I would repeat that again. Because the thing is, bro splits are good, but they work best usually if you're on performance enhancing drugs. Your nitrogen retention is a bit higher. You can take a lot more volume in one session, and you can take a lot more intensity. And so you're usually bigger, so it takes longer for you to recover. So the normal person, on average,
it takes you longer to recover?
The bigger you are, it takes you longer to recover.
Even on gear?
Well, if you're on gear, it may offset that some, but you have a higher nitrogen retention. So what I'm getting at is someone who is not on gear, you might benefit more from hitting your muscles more frequently with less intensity in a session. And so I went period. So let's say your normal chest day, you do 5 exercises. You do chest flies, bench press, incline dumbbell, hammer machine, and something else. So instead, maybe you may do bench press and cable flies on Tuesday, and on Friday you may do the other 3, to where the volume is the same, but your intensity on those days is at 100%. Because if you notice, sometimes you may do bench press and cable flies, and by the time you get to your last 2 exercises, you're kind of bullshit. You're not really doing it with the same intensity you did your bench press. So what if you did those exercises with the same intensity, and through the week, you got the same amount of volume in, and you stimulated protein synthesis in that muscle more than one time in a week. So there's some science there showing that that's more beneficial. So I went through a period, I did that. And then I also went through a period where I did full body every day, but I did it the same type of way. So I would do bench press on Monday, do cable fly on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I do incline dumbbell press. And on Monday, I do leg extensions. And
one exercise for muscle group?
Right. So in the same week, it'd be the same amount of volume, but each body part I was hitting, I was going maximum on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like at the end of my leg day, I'm bullshitting these extensions. I'm just going through the motion, putting blood in there. I'm not really doing shit. And so, you know how it is. So I had good results with that too, and I stayed leaner because I was doing full body every day.
Yeah.
I was able to eat a lot more carbohydrates. I noticed. So
I was gonna ask if would you recommend that for like a newbie? You know, some of the, hey man, I'm just trying to get that Brad Pitt Fight Club physique. You know what I mean? Like, what would you recommend?
I would recommend like 3 days a week and maybe do full body like that. But I wouldn't recommend full body every day because
Okay.
it's still a lot of volume. Maybe 3 days a week if someone's just starting, because you're gonna change with that amount of volume. And then after that, then you can add another day and things like that. But the average person, they probably benefit more from stuff like that instead of doing bro split, especially just starting out, I would say.
Okay.
But I think when a lot of people start, they just see their favorite bodybuilders and this and stuff do bro split, so they think that's what I'm supposed to do. When really, it's probably a little bit better way to go about things, especially if you're not on like performance enhancing drugs, is what I would say.
That's what I did, man, for forever. I mean, it's only until about like 6 months ago I started doing push pull legs, day off, push pull legs, and I like it way better.
Yeah. And at first it feels so weird when you do a different split because we're like creatures by habit. You know, once we start something for so long, we think this is it. And then like you just, like when I first heard full body, I'm like, oh, full body, that's for pussies. And I start doing it and I'm like, oh. Yeah, it's just like, it's just different. But
I just think it would benefit from it. When I heard full bodies every day, I thought just like overtraining would, result in basically like, I assume you'd say leaner and everything like that because you're exhausting your entire body, but I assumed you wouldn't build from it.
not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't. That's one science I've never studied is full body splits, but that was like my general idea of what I thought it would be.
Right. Yeah, not necessarily. And I used to think that too, but a lot of studies are like emerging where they're showing that it can benefit from that. Because I mean, when you train a muscle, you have your upregulated protein synthesis in that muscle cell lasts from 48 to 72 hours. So it doesn't really make sense to only train a body part once a week, especially if you're not even sore anymore. Why not go ahead and hit it again? So then, especially if you're someone like me who's really like, it takes so much for me to get sore. So instead, if I just train a muscle one day, I train it hard, train it again tomorrow. But I'm only doing one exercise. I'm doing it a different way. Because the human body doesn't know when I go to the gym, hey, I'm trying to train my bicep. I want a bigger bicep. It just knows getting stimulated. And so over the month, if I'm doing the same amount of volume, but I'm doing it in a different manner, it should be fine. And so it worked for me. I've had a couple of my clients try it, and it worked for the more advanced clients. The other clients who weren't used to training as much, they were too sore from it. So that's why I backed off of it.
I'm gonna give that a try. Honestly, I've been looking to try something new. I might give that a week try. What's your opinion on a? I've heard a couple of people, actually not mostly, all people on gear, body part a day.
Yeah, usually, I mean, a body part a day, like what like I'm doing right now. Like if you do like legs, chest, things like that, like legs one day, chest another. I mean, I think it's good. I think you need to do a lot of work for that body part once a day for it to really grow. And I think it's a classic bodybuilding method. I mean, anecdotally, obviously, it's worked for a lot of people. So I don't think you can say that it's wrong or bad. I just think that you have more room to grow even more. So, like, if you do legs on Monday, I mean, are you really going to wait until Monday again to train them again? I mean, you could be recovered by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Especially when I bring up the legs, why don't you do 2 leg exercises on Thursday with your shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think sometimes people get so caught up, get creative, add in more work when you want to be more work. There's no one telling you that you have to do it a certain way. But with that being said, bodybuilders have done that since the beginning of time. So I would never say that that doesn't work because it definitely will get results doing that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. That's one thing I never knew anything about. So yeah, thank you for informing me on that. Random question. Do you have any preferred pre-workouts? That's actually my own personal question. Any ones that you're like, let me get an endorsement, motherfucker. There's a reason I'm wearing Gymshark shit because I figure I wear the shit enough. Maybe they'll throw me some free shit. Plus, I've been drinking. Yeah.
Tag them in the shit.
Right.
Usually, honestly, I buy pre-workouts that are kind of marked down. I've had some companies reach out to me wanting me to work with them, but a lot of time I'm big on if the ingredients are listed on the back and they're fully dosed. That was like in the study. So if it's a bunch of proprietary blends, I'm not going to be posting the shit just because like I'm just like it's that. Even if you pay me, I'm not going to be posting shit. So I like there's one by called AML Labs pre-workout. I like that one. Outlift has one that's like fully dosed, and I've taken it. It's pretty good. GNC actually has a brand new one. It's expensive as shit. Called Lit as fuck. It's not just lit. It's called Lit.
Oh, really?
Fuck. Yeah, it's called Lit AF.
The original is actually pretty good. Honestly.
Yeah, the original is pretty good, but this one, the original Lit had like 3 grams of citrulline. So it has like 8. It's citrulline malate. It has everything. It's really dosed well. So anything that has ingredients where it's transparent and they're dosed well, something that I would get behind taking. And if you're cheap on money, get something that's marked down.
All right. That's a good answer. For those who are listening who understand what proprietary blends are, proprietary blend is essentially a cheap ass fucking cop out, which means like we're not going to tell you exactly how much shit in this. We could have 1.3 grams of creatine. Yeah, we could have like 0.2 instead of the 5 of citrulline malate, or what is it? Is it 4 is the dose that most people recommend? Is it 4?
Usually around like 4 or 6.
Yeah, 4 or 6. Yeah, so they could have anything, and they could even throw in just like, I don't know, we got a shot and a half of fucking Down Under Grey Goose vodka. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all bullshit. So, yeah, always check that. Like, pretty much Muscle Tech, any pre-workout I've ever seen from Muscle Tech is for shit. And that's another thing to look at when you're looking at pre-workouts. A lot of them will show how much, like, it'll be like, this gives you 5 grams of citrulline malate, 5 grams of creatine or whatever. And then in the little box or whatever, it'd say, per 2 doses. So it says you're getting 15 doses instead of the 30, or you're only getting a half dose from the actual serving. So one random fun fact that'll save you some goddamn money, because I never knew that shit for the longest fucking time until I'm trying to remember whose YouTube video explained proprietary blends to me. I was very curious. But anyways, okay, so let me think. What's the coolest place you've gotten to travel to through your modeling?
I liked Curacao a lot. So I've been to Aruba, the Bahamas, Curacao, and Cuba. Maybe I'd say Cuba.
I forgot you went to Cuba.
Huh?
I forgot you went to Cuba. How lit was that?
Beautiful, man. And the people there, it's like communism. Like they treat you like you're royalty because, I mean, they don't have any money. The government gives them all their money. So any extra that they can make on the side, I mean, they're really grateful for them. There's also like a lot of like hookers there trying to sell their bodies. I'm just gonna say
extra money, baby.
Yeah, so that I didn't hook up with any hookers, by the way. But it was just the water was beautiful, the food was good. I would say Cuba, probably. Cuba? I'm always prone to pick like some like Caribbean warm, like you can see through the water type place.
Yeah. Well, the people are different. Like it's from what I've been told from every person that's ever gone to a Caribbean country is just the vibes in comparison to America are just so much more laid back. They're just happy to be alive because they have so little.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. Like they're super grateful. They're super nice. It's just it was dope. I like that. I would go back. Do you have a passport?
No, fuck no. I've never I haven't even traveled to the West fucking coast for fun. Yeah, I know it sucks, dude. One of these days, hopefully, if I won the lottery, as much of a cliche white girl pageant answer to what you would do if you had what's the number one thing you would do if you had $1 million? I would travel, like those fucking cunts. But yeah, that's what I do is I take Ellie to just random places and just hang out there and teach him about different shit about the place in specific and visit the monuments because. Why else? I don't need a lot of shit in life. I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to everything. I don't need a bigger TV. I don't need a fucking Ferrari. I don't give a shit about stuff that much. So I would just rather learn and visit.
Yeah, I love to travel. So I I definitely recommend you get one. Shit, I definitely recommend you checking out the West Coast. Check out like California and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a friend in LA. Well, actually, Matt Williams is out in LA too.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's where he's like living right now. Yeah, I talk to him on a regular basis. He's still the coolest motherfucker on the planet.
Nice, nice.
Hell yeah. Tall, goofy motherfucker, I tell you what.
He was in a band, right? Adult.
Yeah, they're huge. They just got done touring in the UK.
Oh, see, I'm in a different fucking world, man. Congrats to them.
Follow them, dude. They're big, dude. Like they're doing shows with like they're like they made it, dude. They're signed to a good label. They just got done touring in the UK. They've played like Bonnaroo and shit.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Matt through Evan. Me and Evan used to be really tight. Never friends with Matt.
Yeah, they're like brothers, pretty much. That's how I met. That's how I met Evan, is through him, because Bobby was like banging his sister. I'm sorry, Evan, if you hear this. Was dating his sister. And that's how they met. If you had to pick a random, what is your number one cheat meal? What's the one thing that gets your dick hard for food?
I love sushi, man. Like I can go to a sushi buffet and like
Really?
I went to a sushi buffet before and I've had 180 pieces of sushi. Like I can just.
Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious?
Not even exaggerating. Sushi, and I love like the sweet potato roll. Have you ever had that one?
I've never eaten sushi except for veggie rolls. I never was interested in sushi until I was vegetarian.
It's crazy. This one's vegetarian.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah, and it's my favorite one. It's like sweet potato, and it's like in this oil or something, and then it's like with this sauce on the top. Oh my god! And
you're getting my dick hard right now, Ryan Harden. I tell you what.
You got to try it. I don't know if they have it there, but it's a sweet potato roll.
We got a couple of sushi places around here, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. I've only ever had the veggie roll, which had like avocado, like carrot, just the seaweed wrap and rice. Pretty simple, but it's good. I'm gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, the sweet potato roll is vegetarian. So I like that, and I love boxes of cereal and shit too. Like I've sat down eating like 3 boxes of cereal.
Bro, we agree on that shit, dude. You could ask my girlfriend, and I'll sit and just open up the bag and pour a gallon of milk straight into the bag and just fuck that whole thing of Fruity Pebbles up. It's like I can't buy cereal because that shit's not making it the next day.
Me either. I don't even buy it. I don't even keep it in the house. It's just like I'll convince myself, oh, I'm carbing up.
Yeah, I'll pour some whey protein on it, and it'll just be like a fucking, no, it's sugar, it's cardboard. It's sugar and cardboard, and it's bullshit.
Exactly. So yeah, I'd probably say like sushi or boxes of cereal, stuff like that.
What about music? What are you currently listening to?
Lately, I've been on this like 90s pop rock.
I've noticed that from your posts.
Yeah, like my Instagram and stuff. And yeah, one of my clients, because I usually ask my clients if they like to listen to music, and her name's Gina. It's like, yeah, play some. She picked a playlist that was 90s pop, and I was just listening to it, and I was like getting like nostalgia. I was just like,
nostalgia, yeah, baby.
Just getting like emotional listening. I was like, oh, like all these bangers. I'm like, man, like people don't really listen to like some of the lyrics of like some of the songs are just so like powerful.
Fucking sad, dude. 90s music was fucking sad, dude.
Oh man, it's just like I can still remember being like a little kid and like my uncle listening to it like on the way to like Crawfordsville, Indiana, because we'd go there every other weekend to like visit my grandparents and my dad. And my uncle or my dad would play it on the radio, and I can just takes me back to like that time. It's just like, wow. So yeah, like lately I've been on like a 90s pop rock mix, but usually I listen to everything, man. Like I listen to from fucking like rap to rock.
Yeah, you fuck with Travis Scott a lot, I've noticed.
Yeah, I like Travis Scott a lot. I'm starting to kind of fade off of him a little bit, but I used to be like the biggest Travis Scott fan. I just love like his ad libs, his style.
I couldn't name if you put a gun to my head, but I'll take your advice on it.
Yeah, he's just a cool ass dude. He comes off that way at least. So I like a lot of his music. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I've kind of faded off of him a little bit lately, but I'm sure he'll drop something new. Maybe, hopefully, that'll switch it up for me. He's just kind of gotten too like repetitive, almost kind of like Migos. Like when they first came out, it's like, oh, this sounds like. I mean, they're still rapping about like the same shit. it's kind of getting like, okay, all these songs are starting to sound the same.
Right. I thought they would bury Kanye. Like, I thought they were just going to completely, like, ruin his career. I don't know why. I just had that feeling for a minute. Like, they were just going to bury his ass, and that was going to be the final thing.
Yeah, he stays relevant. He's definitely a character. So, I think, he's probably going to stay relevant for a while. So, I
Love
used to be a really
shit.
big Kanye fan. His later CDs, I haven't really vibed with him as much as I used to with his earlier stuff. But
nah, Life of Pablo is about the last good thing he made, and I fucked with it pretty hardcore.
yeah. Usually people like that, though, who are like really interesting or like kind of fucked up in the brain or kind of confusing. They're really good artists or they make good music and things like that. Especially like if you
also, when it comes to people that have like those type of dilemmas and those are fucked up, like American culture for some reason is absolutely obsessed with celebrities fall. You know what I mean? Because it's an arrogant, egotistical fucking bullshit thing where they're like, haha, look at that fucking loser. He just fucking lost his music career. Well, better go back to my job at the Casey's, you know what I mean? Because you're like, your life isn't, you're like, well, but also in a beautiful way. Maybe it's like this noticing gods are humans type of way where maybe, oh, we all can, find ourselves subject to the pitfalls of human emotion. We're all a part of the human condition of just like self-destruction and emotional distress. We all get hurt by the same fucking things. If you stab me, I bleed. If you stab you, you bleed.
yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with that too. But I make fun of that shit. I find myself like I'll be like, yeah, look at these fucking idiots following this dumb thing and stuff like that. And I'll be like, oh God, Chris Pratt is so fucking cool. Look at him. Look at his hair in Guardians of the Galaxy. God, he's so fine. Paul Rudd is the shit. You know what I mean? Like, dumb shit like that.
Yeah, I've met like who's the girl who plays in who's the girl who plays in Hunger Games?
Wait, J-Law?
No, Jennifer.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, I call her J-Law. Jennifer Lawrence.
I met her at Andy Cohen's party. Like I've met like Bradley Cooper. Like it's interesting when you meet these people. They're not like what they seem to be. Like they're really just like normal people, man. It's just like I don't know. Like she was literally standing right next to me. We had a little conversation, and I kept it moving. Talked to the next. I mean, it's just interesting.
I think about that when I've met like. Because I've never met anybody super famous, but the couple of like famous stand-up comedians and musicians I've met, I fangirl pretty hard fucking core. I can't lie. But for the most part, I realize like they're just normal fucking people. I was gonna ask you about that too. So what was it like getting chosen by the girl from Broad City? Your fine ass caramel ass.
Honestly, I didn't even know. I didn't even know who that show was. Like when Andy asked me to come on. And then once everyone after was telling me like, oh, this, like, I talked to her after and like, I don't know if she had a few drinks or whatever, but she was probably down to hook up, honestly. But I don't know. It's just like, it was weird, but she was cool as shit.
Story, you son of a bitch. That's what you do things for. That's why you bang a midget for the story the next day.
It was, but what show did she even play in? Some, yeah.
She's been in some movies, I'm pretty sure, some obscure comedies, I'm pretty sure. I know Hannibal Buress is in Broad City, but I've never watched an episode myself. I just know what it is.
Yeah, I've never watched the episode or anything. So, like, usually when I meet people on there, I don't even know who the fuck they are. But then people are messaging me like, oh, fuck, you were just on there with Blue Bobby Blue. I'm like, yeah.
Andy Cohen seems cool as fuck, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really cool. A lot. And, he invited me to, like, his baby shower. It was so crazy, Jackson. Like, who was the girl from Sex and the City? Whatever her name is.
The chick with the weird foot face?
Yeah, her.
Man, I can't remember her name.
She was there. She bought this kid, like, I mean, the gifts that this kid was getting were, like, ridiculous. It was, like, a Louis Vuitton blanket that said Benjamin on it from the barf on. And it was just, like, I'm just sitting there, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was just...
We can't fathom the wealth that these people see as normality in their existence.
It was just ridiculous. And the girl off Hunger Games, and that's how I know her by Jennifer, whatever. She's drunk as shit. She's I guess not to say shit. She's drunk as shit, and she's going like through his closet trying on his like coats and shit. And it was just like,
are you serious?
I'm serious. And no one has their phones out or anything because they don't want it to like it's just kind of like I mean, no one's recording anything because everyone's like
I was gonna
famous.
say it makes people uncomfortable. I'm assuming.
Right. And I don't want to be like that nigga in there with his phone out.
Yeah, like pardon with J Law, envy motherfuckers. You know.
Right. I post on Instagram her getting drunk as fuck, shit faced.
Probably could have sold that for a shitload of money. That's the sad part. You understand how much you could sell that shit for?
Probably.
TMZ would be like, listen, motherfucker, you want a career? We'll give you a career, all right? You pretty ass motherfucker, give me the photo, all right?
Exactly.
Jennifer Lawrence in This Week is going downhill, you know what I mean? Career shambles over her recent breakup, you know, like.
Yeah, who knows what they would fucking make up.
They make jackassery out of it is what they probably do. Because, I mean, those people are. Do you know that TMZ is considered a credible news source now? It's like considered like news the same as like, you know, Fox or CNN or anything like that.
And they love catching people when they're fucked up or they're down. It's
so sad. God forbid Justin Bieber had a beer when he's turned. Justin Bieber had 2 drinks on his 21st birthday. Yeah, who the fuck doesn't have a drink on their 20? You don't even drink it. I'm sure you did.
Or like even like when like Elon Musk smoked a joint, like on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they like lost shares and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
It lost a shitload. That's the wild part. And all he did was taste that shit. I smoked plenty of weed in my lifetime. He touched that shit. That's what he did.
Right. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, people are silly with the things that they invest their time in. I don't know. That's a pretty cool story though. With I didn't know you get to go to all that baby shower and shit like that. That shit's wild. What do you think of New York? This is a random question, but I've been there once. What is your opinion? Do you like New York?
It's grown on me a lot. When I first moved here, I hated it. It's because I'm from Danville, Illinois. I mean, it's so small. New York is just like a different animal, man. It's nonstop, bright lights. You have to make money if you want to live here because like shit's expensive as shit. So if you're not making money, come to visit and then go back home.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of people like from Danville or even like from Kentucky, they think that I don't know. I think that they perceive that like I just moved here and it's just like this magical, successful journey. But like when I first moved here, like bro, I didn't even have a room. I was sleeping on a fucking couch. I didn't even have a key to the place I was staying in. Like I would be stuck outside in the cold. I have no family here. I didn't have one client yet. I lost so much fucking money. I wasn't getting any modeling jobs yet. Like it was hell. Like when I first moved here, I was because I just thought, what have I done? I can't do this. It was just like, I just had to tough it out and hang in there, but it was horrible. There were like, bro, it's like I couldn't even, you have like no privacy. Just like, it was rough. But then maybe just gotta keep pushing, keep grinding. I got my first job working with Under Armour. I was in a football ad that paid really well.
That blew my fucking mind when I saw that shit. Honest to God, blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like even more than what really blew my mind, the costume thing. The seeing you on the cover of the cut. No, I'm sorry.
Like it's crazy because like I did that job, and then like you don't know when it's gonna come out. It's like I forgot all about that, and people are like, holy shit, I see you in like costumes, and that job is like a residual paying job. So like this Halloween, you'll probably see me again because like I shot like so many different costumes for that job.
That's fuck, dude. That's the shit.
Right. So it's like, and what really helped me get that job is me doing like show fire and delegation because I knew how to smile and act like a
party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like and so like it helped me get like that job. I mean, then I got like Muscle and Fitness. I've been in there a couple times. I've been in some other magazines here and there.
Too, honestly, both those things that you did are such incredible like sources. Like it blows my mind personally as a follower of both those things.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. I was just featured in a magazine here called Metropolis Men. It's a New York magazine where they picked like maybe 6 trainers. And they're the top trainers in NYC. I was one of the trainers, and so it came out in NYC, and that helped me pick up some more clients. And so,
nice, holy shit!
It just takes a while, man. Like just got to keep fighting because like when I first moved here in New York, it's a different animal. It's so expensive. It's so fast paced. There's a fake shit going on, and you'll get sucked into like a lot of bullshit. Like I know a lot of guys who moved out here thinking that they were going to be actors or fitness models. And they end up paying their rent by sucking on some dude's dick to get their money each month. I mean, it's just because they think it's going to be something else. Or you'll have people hitting you up saying that they're a photographer. What makes you a photographer? Because you have a camera? Now I'm supposed to get in my underwear? And it's just like, it's just a lot of shit out here where it's like, I mean, you got to be wise.
Insane.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, there's unlimited things to do. East Coast, you got the beach. I mean, you're into theater. I mean, there's clubs. I mean, it's just unlimited things to do. So that's a big pro.
Do you see you staying there do you see longevity in your
I'm gonna start focusing more on like my online, building up more online clients because I don't really want to be a personal trainer forever. I really enjoy it now and I can do it now. I can run and gun and stuff like I don't want to be like one of these 50-year-old trainers who are still trying to compete with the guys in their 20s and 30s. Shit, so I have a decent amount of money saved up. I don't know if I'm going to live here for the rest of my life just because.
You're able to save money in New York?
Yeah, I'm able to save money.
For fucking you. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as far as like, I may want a family. So I don't know if I don't think I'd want to raise them in Manhattan, maybe somewhere far out. But so I don't know if I'd stay here the rest of my life or not. But I don't know. Just as you get older, different things you start to value different shit. So, I mean, I'm 27 now. I don't know if I'm gonna have kids or not. I mean, in my mind, maybe I would. So, I don't know. Who knows?
I completely agree with the change of pace or whatever, and the change of aspect. I mean, I can tell you the number one thing when I had Ellie at 20 fucking years old, the shift in my emotions was profound. I used to be so self-conscious and I used to be so like just emotionally like just imbalanced and everything like that. But after I had him, the lack of fucks I had to give for anybody's opinion was profound. Like that's the number one thing I can say about being a parent, which it's not for every goddamn buddy. But being a parent for me, that was the best thing about having Ellie. As that might sound very selfish in a way, but having him, the best thing that was just like, this kid likes me. Who the fuck cares what anybody else? I mean, especially we're from Danville, Illinois, where I'd say 70% is scum and villainy. You know what I mean? It's motherfucking the harboring ground of the goddamn quote My Chemical Romance, the beaten and the damned. Like,
right.
So yeah, I can say now that I've grown older, I've been in the same aspect of you of just being like, what's important to me. And right now, for me, it's similar to you. I think what you're doing is brilliant. What you just said, especially for anybody that's in the fitness world, you're smart because I think that's the goal. Like with competing, the end goal is eventually to get a following and doing online clients. You're not going to compete for forever. You need to have something. You need to have something, dude.
Right. And it's almost like, especially like with you saying, like being a parent, I think I was watching some of your like, I didn't have time to watch it all, but your interview with the guy, what's his name, Blitz. And we were talking about, I think you mentioned like, could you look up to like in the fitness industry or something? And it's just like now, like I'm at a point in my life where it's just like I respect other men, but like, I feel like you go through a phase in your life where I think it's good to look up to other people, but then it's like you get to a point to where it's like it's almost like you feel the responsibility of like, okay, now people should be looking up to me. Like, what am I like? What am I not doing? Okay, I must not be doing something right if I'm still looking up to someone else. Why aren't people looking up to me? Why haven't I elevated?
You told me that a long time ago. Actually, you told me that like. I think I remember you telling me that, and that really stuck with me back when I was probably messaging you online when I was like 23. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just how I feel. Like,
brilliant.
He's from Danville or maybe he's from Indiana. David, I don't know if you know him. He's starting his Instagram page, Natty Fitness Gains and stuff. and he was asking me a lot of questions the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, man," he was like, "I really used to look up to you, da 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 da." And I was just telling him just like the way life works and how the circle works is cool now because now, David, I'm telling him like you have these people looking up to you. It's like maybe you look up to me at one point in time. Now you're in this world, people are looking up to you, and it just flows. It's like a chain. Like I used to look up to people. I think when I first started working out, I think the first person I saw who was buff was Brett at GNC. I can still remember walking in there and I saw his arm and I was like, what the fuck? I remember thinking like, this dude has to have the biggest arms in the world. His name was Brett. And when I worked at GNC, he ended up being my manager. But when he ended up getting into CrossFit shit, he got small as shit. But his bro, when I first met him, his arms, and I can just still remember his arm. I just thought like, oh my God, this has to be the most muscular guy in the world. And I can still remember him looking back. He would like sell me shit. And I would think like, I remember buying a protein powder, him using his sales skills. Oh, this has a test booster in it. You got to be careful taking this. You're going to gain so much muscle off this mass gainer. I took that mass gainer for like 11 days because it was so expensive. You know how mass gainers are, like 11 days for $100.
Like fucking trial, essentially.
Each time I drank that shake, I thought, oh God, I'm forming. And it's fucking dope.
Watching your hands shake, like, look at the vein, you know what I mean?
Right. And then I think after that, I saw Chad because I went to DC Fitness and I thought like, oh God, like this dude's doing lunges with 225. What the hell is life? And I was just like, and then like, that's like when I kind of like really started getting into it. But I mean, it's just like you look up to people and then eventually you make your own path and then people kind of look up to you and then they'll break off and do their own thing. But it's kind of cool how like it just all works out, you know? I mean, even you now, you're doing a podcast. I mean, like you said, that you like
up since the beginning.
Like you said, you like Johnny Skywalker. Like here in a couple of years, people are probably some fucking kid's gonna be sitting around like fucking Jackson, emo aesthetics, fucking dope. Maybe they'll be rocking your T-shirt that says emo aesthetic on it. They'll be like sitting around talking about your ass doing curls in their basement. It's just crazy how it works.
It is. Real quick, shout out to that crazy motherfucker, Chad from motherfucking DC Fitness. You are out of your goddamn mind, motherfucker. All right, yeah. He probably, if he watches this, so probably you'll see that. Like I Twitch, like Ryan. Here's the thing. I gotta tell you about this. All right, that motherfucker. He was in here. Yeah.
That's exactly how he talks to.
I swear he's on Adderall, in my opinion. I have a couple of theories that I've concocted about. I swear he's on Adderall 24/7, but. Amongst others.
Wouldn't surprise me amongst other things. So hey.
Yeah, fucking wild, dude. He inspired me in some ways, though. I've talked to him about what he did, and that's a goal of mine to own a gym one day. I mean, the fact that he worked as a nurse, he worked his ass off and saved up money to eventually.
He's a hustler. He's a grinder, and that's respectable. And it's weird, like you say that too. Like I value things differently than. Like when I first saw Chad, when I saw him do those lunges, I thought, wow. But I never was a fan of Chad's body or his aesthetic or even like how he trained. But I was younger then. And you know who Mike Rashid is?
Yeah, of course.
But like when I was younger, I used to think Mike Rashid, like I used to watch his videos when I was training. I used to think, man, he's badass. And then he kind of got away from like training so hardcore and he started putting out these other videos about life and shit. And I thought, oh man, he became a pussy. Like what happened to him? And then like as I got older, now I respect him more because he's talking about life. He's talking about being a man. He's talking about taking care of his family. He's helping the homeless. It's just like you just value different things. You just go through like a different stage. Like Chad, like, wow, I see him trying to take care of his kids. He runs a business. He gets up at 5 a.m. It's just like this other shit. It's like beyond just slinging weights and going fucking crazy. Yeah, it's just like
it's baby.
Man.
No, it boils down to fuck, what was I about to say? It's literally one of the only good things about getting older. To any people that are young that might be listening to this, I will explain to you that there's a reason those old cocksuckers, and I fucking hate old people, say that what I lost in years I gained in wisdom. Because let me tell you, you absolutely fucking do. Now, does that mean that the old piece of shit in the fucking nom hat telling you your long hair is some hippie bullshit, does that mean he's right about everything? No. but he's experienced more than you, and he might have some shit that you can learn from. That doesn't take away from the fact that he's probably just a cunt. But when you get older,
True.
you accrue more shit. And, you know, when you're going through high school and you're going through your breakups and you're going through losing friendships and stuff like that, trust me, when you get older, that shit will happen to you. And it's not a desensitization, or rather, I mean, it is, but it's morally just realizing that when you get older, the more you realize that the next day the sun is going to come up the same way it did the day before and the day before and the day before. If you're going through some hard shit, understand that sun is fucking rising regardless. So you can too. Like, it's my little emotional trip for you.
I definitely agree with that.
As a person that's tried to kill himself plenty of times, just gonna plug that in right there. The sun will shine the next day, my friends. Trust me.
I agree with that.
That conversation took a morbid toll just a little bit. Do you have any plans for the future in the recent time period right now? I'm gonna probably get off in a little bit. Let me ask if there's any plugs that you want to put in.
I need to come back to Danville, see my family. I haven't bought a ticket for it yet though, but as of right now, I don't. I was just in California. I spoke about health and wellness at this small convention.
Link for that.
I need to edit some more of that video and post it. And man, those ladies asked me I answered questions for probably 50 minutes straight on diet and nutrition. I was like, I mean, they were asking some decent shit too. I was like, okay, it's so.
You bitches are actually gonna take this information and then.
Yeah, I was like, damn. So, but yeah, other than that, I don't have any. I don't have any plans as of right now I can think of.
You ever consider trying to do acting since you're in New York? I mean, you took acting classes in DAC, didn't you?
Yeah, when I went to DAC, I was doing theater. When I first moved here, I took an acting class, but it takes a lot of time, and a lot of it's with connections and building the connections. And I kind of got so caught up in just trying to make money, and then the training thing took over. But I wouldn't be against it. I had some stuff going on where I was on the cover of a book cover called Justice Justice for District 9, and but things fell through with that, and they were going to make it a Netflix show in LA, but things fell through with it, and I was going to be in that.
I remember that, actually. I think I remember you posting something about that. Was that about that weird Ruth Bader? Is that the Ruth Bader Ginsburg shit?
No, that was something else.
Oh, something else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to move to LA and be in it, but things fell through with that. And so, but maybe, who knows? Who knows? I've been offered to be on a lot of reality TV shows, but I don't take them because in the back of my head, I'm thinking,
that'll destroy your career.
Yeah, what if I get something serious? Because I know if I would get on a reality TV show, I'll be acting an ass, doing whatever for the camera, acting.
Be typecasted as fuck.
Right. And so it would help my following. And then in the long run, it may help me as far as training and stuff. But then if I really wanted to be taken as a serious actor,
no. You'd be spending the rest of your life just doing public appearances for fucking bars and the Midwest or whatever. Oh, it's that Ryan. Remember, he used to date Jesse on fucking The Wild Girls or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So
take pictures with drunk frat fucks for the rest of your life. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I think about that a lot or whatever. Back when I used to think about doing acting, and I still do, because I have some friends in LA, and if I didn't. I've contemplated taking LA, but I can't raise him in LA for fuck's sake with his syndrome and stuff like that. But I thought about what characters would I would like to play, and oddly enough, for the type of person I am, I've always wanted the role of the douchey frat guy. I don't know why. I've always wanted that role of just being a cliche '80s asshole. I don't know why. Even though I'm more like the emo protagonist in the fucking. Role of just hey, don't pick on me. You know what I mean? Is there any role that you would want in particular?
The role that would be easiest for me is something that's where I'm serious or action packed. Actually, nothing in particular. I mean, I could be goofy act, or I could be serious, and I mean, it wouldn't be hard once I memorize it and I really dive into the character role.
I
Sometimes
never
I
saw
would like,
your acting.
yeah, I would like to act like a psycho, almost like a Joker type role. I like
I've
shit.
seen you act like a fucking lunatic before, so yeah.
Yeah, shit like that. I like shit like that. So
You're a funny fuck too, honest to God. You've made me piss myself laughing plenty of times. You could be the you know how every fucking comedy nowadays seems to be two white dudes and then the one token black kid or whatever to even it out. You know what I mean? I could see you being that person.
yeah, and I still like the people close to me. They know that I mean, like I can still be funny, but just like I have to be like so like much more professional and stuff. Even with like the stuff that I post, like the stuff that I used to post like on Facebook and shit. Like I would post whatever came to my mind. I don't give a shit. I would post it. But like
You're
when I go to
really
like
fun.
castings, when I go to castings, Jackson, the first thing they ask to see is your Instagram. They don't even ask to see your portfolio anymore. I go on a casting
What?
the other day. I went into a casting for a Samsung smartwatch 2. I walked in. Let's see your Instagram. They start looking through posts and like they look through your story. It's like, and if I'm on,
What?
yeah, and if I'm on there saying, "Oh fuck bitches," and like it's crazy, and they want to know how many followers you have.
How like PC the universe is now, or rather this country.